Wow. Wow.
It's the wheel of fantasy.
All right, we are here at the PHNX Coyotes post-game show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. All right, we landed on number 2. That is a Coyotes win 3-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights. They've won 2 out of their last 3. They're no longer in last. Wait a second.
What? That's not a fantasy.
That's not a wheel of fantasy.
What the hell is going on?
Is this just wheel life?
Is
this just fantasy?
Coyotes have won 2 out of 3 at home. It's real.
What?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and this is a team that many had pegged to win the Western Conference, and I tell you what, the Oats skated with them.
I have to say, I know we want the team to lose for the tank, but if you're gonna beat a team, beat the Vegas Golden Knights, the Duel of the Desert, it's a rivalry to me. They're annoying because they've been good from the start. Their fan base hasn't had to suffer like the Coyotes fan base has. So to me, this win is very gratifying.
Yeah, it's the Vegas Golden Knights, it's the LA Kings. Those are the teams that you want to beat. And I tell you what, I know it's 3-1. And we talk about how do the Coyotes win games. Well, this was one where the goaltender was lights out.
Unreal.
He was the difference tonight. Having said that, offensively, wow, I mean, they skated well. They moved the puck well. They got shots on net. They did a lot of things right. And that just shows how close this team is bridging that gap and getting through this mess. I know they're not consistent enough. I know they don't do it enough.
Because it won't be like this after the trade deadline.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Leah.
I'm being you tonight.
I know. There you go. I was trying to be positive right now. Trying to be something. Because they were good. And you see that the ability for this team, when they skate and their feet are moving, then the puck moves, and then they look like an NHL team, and they look like they belong. And it's been that way for a little while now. And they go in spurts, and that leads to why they're in second to last right now, is they just can't do it consistently. They can't do it for 60 minutes, let alone over 2 or 3 games. But it's there. And for Coyote fans, there is the word hope. It's there.
You choked on it.
The word hope. But it's there because you see Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, Gostisbehere was good again tonight. There's some great individual efforts here again tonight. And that's what you need during a rebuild like this, is to make sure you're seeing those consistent individual efforts. And I tell you what, Schmaltz and Keller now are putting a string of games together. I said Schmaltz needed to get more consistent. I think he's answered the bell.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's start with tonight by the numbers, because you can get a sense of how the Coyotes responded to Vegas's maybe it ended up being 43 or 44. It was 44. Anyway, 44 shots on goal. Coyotes 32 for the Coyotes. That is phenomenal. That's like doubling what they've been putting up.
If we get over 24, 25, again, that's a solid win.
Yeah, I know. And I will say, and Petey side count several.
I know. I can't help it. By the way, did you see Kirsten is here?
Oh my gosh, hi Kirsten.
Kirsten is watching a Coyote show. Like her TV must be broken. That's what I'm going with. It can't be real.
Well, and also I know that the faceoffs ended up being 60-40 Vegas, but at some point, I think in the first, it was 90-10 and 80-20. Like, the Coyotes were not good in faceoffs tonight.
Yeah, I know we put it on our numbers, and it's a big thing in the league stats, but it just really goes to show, does it really matter?
But you're saying that, but every other time you're like, well, it goes to show that who's getting the puck. Because it does
give you the puck more often. It gives you the puck more often, and it clearly shows in the shots that they had more shots. But I'm going to say this, and I'm sure there's people going to be really angry. It just kind of shows, when you talk about advanced analytics and statistics in hockey, there is one. I've done these studies. I've been in the room where we've done these studies. I've been in there when they looked at numbers, and there is only one stat that really tells a true picture of who's going to win or lose. Whoever has the most goals wins. Other than that, the rest doesn't matter. Power plays, shots on goal, face-offs.
Fair enough.
Doesn't matter. And it clearly showed tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
So they lost in every statistical category.
And I will say,
yet they win.
And I'm going to bring this up now because it's relevant to what we're talking about. the Coyotes only win games when they're outshot because the Coyotes don't win when they're not. And this is a stat that Petey tweeted out earlier today. Coyotes are winless when they outshoot their opponent. They're 0-6-1. What a bizarre freaking stat.
Yeah. And by the way, I was reading stats way too early this morning.
Is that like your morning reading?
Yeah,
with your
like
coffee?
I text that way too early. But I couldn't believe it. And the funnier part is, and I'm sure if there are people in the chat listening right now, there were a few responses to that tweet going, well, yeah, that makes sense because late. No, it doesn't make sense. You get more shots on goal than your opponent 7 times and you lose every one of them. That doesn't make sense. Statistically, that does not make sense. No. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I think I see it once in a while. There's a one-off, or some teams are in the league right now are 500 when they're being outshot. But to not win a game when you outshoot your opponent, what that shows to me is this team thrives on good goaltending, and their goalies, Vejmelka and Wedgewood, need to get a lot of shots. They need a lot of work. The more work they get, the better they play, and they make the difference.
And Wedgewood was lights out tonight.
He was fantastic.
43 saves by him. It was a single game career high for Wedgewood, which is awesome to see. He was lights out. He was phenomenal.
So give him the stat. Well, they saw it on TV.
Oh, yeah. So they showed this stat on TV. So since January 28th, goalies all the goalies in the NHL who have played at least 5 games since January 8th, Wedgewood is tied for first in the league with the best save percentage, with none other than
Igor Shesterkin
in New York,
Rangers,
who's probably going to win the Vezina or be in the
leading candidate for the Vezina Trophy right now. And Scott Wedgewood is tied with him
of the Arizona Coyotes
over the last 30 days. What? Like,
I love that.
I literally didn't believe the stat.
I think it was like .951 or something.
Yeah, it was 938. It was 938, or was it 958?
Oh.
Whatever it was absolutely, literally impressive. And when you go back to where these goalies started off, and we were talking about 5, 6, 7, and 8 goals a game on this show over and over and over, when we thought this was going to be the worst 82-game stretch in history, man, the goaltending's been much improved. Like Wedgewood, to me, he came in here wanting to earn a spot as a number 2 in the National Hockey League. He thought he would get a chance to do that if he could play well enough here. I don't know what else you can ask of him. So now he's a guy that wasn't on anybody's radar, Scott Wedgewood. He's a minor leaguer up and down this year. He's played some in the American League, some in the NHL. It's been that way for years. Putting these kind of numbers together, is that enough for a team to look at it and go, shit, we might need some goalie depth in the playoffs? Maybe our second or third guy? Let's take a look at Wedgewood.
In case you're wondering, DraftKings does not have odds for him in particular to win the Vezina, but you can bet on the field at plus 1,000.
Oh,
so if you think plus 1,000,
yeah,
interesting.
Wow.
Shesterkin is minus 130. He is the odds-on favorite.
Odds-on favorite at minus 130. And by the way, he is absolute money right now for the Rangers. If not for Shesterkin, the Rangers are not where they are in the standings, clearly. But with Scott Wedgewood, we'll have to ask. We're not going to ask Craig if he's on the trade block yet, because clearly that's maybe a little early. But there are teams that need goaltending depth. We're talking
about trades in December.
Yeah, but you do.
Edmonton?
You need depth. What does he do in Edmonton? I don't know.
Back up Mike Smith when he lets in 4 goals on 7 shots.
Yeah, ouch.
But it is interesting, and I think it was Tyson Nash who made the comment at the end, but it's like, you don't play a backup goalie 3 games in a row. So, and that's the interesting thing about the Coyotes goaltending situation this year is one goalie gets hot and the Coyotes ride that goalie. And then they get cold or injured or whatever happens, and then the other goalie has and like Veggie's had stretches where he's been on fire, and so has Wedgie, and they both had their, off games where they haven't looked great. But it is just interesting where every time I think, Veggie's going to be the goal, like, is our starter, or Wedgie's the starter, I'm always proven wrong. I mean, we've been really off about goalies
I've been off all year.
So we are not the goalie experts here on the Petey and Craig podcast, but it is just interesting.
No, it is. And this isn't a clear cut, like we go to a lot of teams and they have a number 1 and a clear number 2. That's not what's happening here.
No.
Like between Wedgie and Veggie.
And I don't think they need to even have that.
They are
given
pretty
this
equal.
situation.
They're equal right now.
Yeah.
And I we'll go on a limb. You want to say who's starting Sunday against the Winnipeg Jets? Guess?
Well, my guess would be Veggie because he's been so good against them.
But
Wedgie looked so good tonight. So what do you do?
That is exactly, and I will tell you this, having been in that room, that is exactly the conversation that's going on. Somebody will say, well, and I don't know this coaching staff, so they may do things differently. In the coaches' rooms I've been in, someone will say, who should we put in goal on Sunday? And the first response, quick thinking, is, oh, it's Wedgie. He's on fire. Look at his wins. And then someone would say exactly what Leah just said. But Veggie is lights out against the Jets. And now the discussion ensues. So now it sucks because you can't. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, but you got to make a choice.
We get paid to speculate, not to make the decisions.
Exactly.
So, whatever. And let's not bury the lead. Scott Wedgewood is our DraftKings king of the game tonight. Just a phenomenal performance. Do we have it? Okay, it's coming. It's coming.
Elite crown placement, too, by...
Sean is not the king of the podcast
David.
tonight.
No.
Yes, and our intern David placed this crown, so judge accordingly. He's nervous in the background there. Well, as we're waiting for this graphic to pull up, any other notes about Wedgie?
No, I am really happy for him because he's a guy we've had on the show before. He's a guy you want to root for.
Oh, there it is. 43 saves, .977 save percentage.
His career high in saves and a win. Like you want him to do well.
Yeah. He's a really nice person.
Yeah,
too.
Really nice person. So I hope he does find a home. I know it's starting to plan for next year, and I saw online that they're starting to talk to Veggie about a contract for next year. I don't know if they're going to look at adding Wedgewood to their team for a year from now, but hopefully he finds a home in the National Hockey League. He's played good enough over this last stretch in Arizona to earn that, I think. So I am rooting for him.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's pull up your keys, Petey, because this one, I think this is the most you've nailed it.
So keep streaking.
Or maybe the most the Coyotes have nailed it.
Keep streaking. Keller and Schmaltz. Schmaltz with 2 goals.
Yep.
Keller got his assist, so he moves on to streak. So we checked that box. Use the D to get offense. And what we meant by that, and if people saw the picture on Twitter, is Vegas has a collapsing defense. So their forwards that usually defend at the top of the circles sag a little bit lower, so there's more room at the top. Well, if you look at the game tonight, you had Gostisbehere with a shot from the point because he had a lot of room with traffic in front. And then the Schmaltz goal is a shot from the point for Strawman up top. So I think 2 of the 3 other than the empty netter, that's not generated by the offense. So I think we nailed that one. And the Vegas breakout, well, I don't know if they broke out quick against Vegas because Vegas did have stretches that they hemmed the Coyotes into their defensive zone for long periods of time. So they might not have got that one. I should have put Wedgie.
Just like you've done
as the third key.
Veggie as
I should have, because the goaltender made the difference to me. He was the key to the game.
Yeah.
It's called the way we see it. That's the key to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the goals that, I don't know where to start. Yes, let's talk about the goals. So Gostisbehere from Chychrun and Galchenyuk. Gostisbehere's 9th of the season, his 31st point of the season, and his 250th career point in the National Hockey League. How do you think the Flyers feel right now, giving up Shane Gostisbehere for basically nothing?
What a resurgence he had here, and they literally gave him away for nothing to this team, and he's been their best defenseman offensively, drives the power play. He's feeling it here. I thought, and that's where we go back to points of this game where the Coyotes were moving the puck so well in the offensive zone and skating so well at moments. You're like, well, they were the better team at times. Over the 60 minutes, Vegas showed glimpses. And let's be honest, Vegas has some very key players out of the lineup right now. Alex Martinez is out, Stone's out, Lehner's out. Like, this is a team that's beat up a little bit. So this isn't the best of the Vegas Golden Knights. Coyotes got some guys hurt too. And so I don't know. The Coyotes looked better than I gave them credit for. Like, they looked fast.
What a statement.
They look fast.
That's also what a statement. By the way, I see some comments that there's people watching this on Twitter. If you're watching this on Twitter right now, head over to the PHNX Sports YouTube and come join us in the chat. The chat is always where it's at, and we love interacting with everyone in the chat. So come over from Twitter, PHNX Sports on YouTube, because we can't see any comments from Twitter, only on YouTube. So head on over.
Look at you selling. Work, Leah. That's all you do.
All right. Well, we talked about Schmaltz's 2 goals. One of them was an empty net goal, but 18 points in 16 games for Schmaltz. We focused on him a lot the other night on his birthday, but you said he needs to be more consistent, and I think he has taken that very seriously.
Well, I'm sure as he leaves the game, as he's driving home listening to our show, because I'm sure clearly as he gets and leaves the arena or when he's on the treatment table after the game, he's listening to us.
Yes, 100%.
So he took it to heart, and he's done exactly what we've asked him to do on this show. He's becoming a consistent player. And how do you do that? For him, it's about his effort, and it's about moving his feet. That's all it's been about with Nick Schmaltz, because when he's not playing and not participating and not part of the offense, he's straight-legged. It means he's standing up and he's not skating. So if you see him and he's not involved, he's not moving. When he moves, he's quick. He's got speed through the neutral zone. He can make plays. He's shown it over the last few weeks now. I just don't know. One little fear is the trade deadline and what happens with Travis Boyd. I don't think there's any way Travis Boyd stays.
That would the Boyd, Keller, Schmaltz line has been the line for the Coyotes. So what would that do to the chemistry of their offensive production? I get what you're saying.
Who fills that hole? And you know, is it by then is it Barrett Hayton gets a chance to fill in that hole, or is we know that coming back this way on any of these trades, you're not going to get a guy that's going to jump into the number 1 center spot. Is it someone coming up from Tucson? Like that. It's going to be interesting, that last stretch of games after the trade deadline, on how all of these holes get filled in their lineup that we're anticipating are there.
Definitely. That's now 3 10-plus goal seasons for Nick Schmaltz. So great for him. And Boyd had an assist so Boyd assisted one of the Schmaltz goals. Keller assisted the other. Just really, that line has been amazing. I see some questions about contract extension questions. We'll ask Craig when he gets here. Yeah. Craig's the one who knows all of that stuff, but somebody who did get a contract extension.
Wow.
Today.
Yeah.
Dyson Mayo. Look at that.
The Mayo.
3-year, $2.85 million extension in 46 games. He has 3 goals, 3 assists, 85 blocks, 65 hits, and averages 20 minutes and 45 seconds on ice. When Lawson Krause was in the studio last week, he was saying like, this guy just eats pucks.
Yeah.
And he's been an amazing addition. I think a surprising addition for all of us who thought maybe he wouldn't be the everyday NHL player that he's kind of turned into.
Yeah. If not for the injury to Connor Timmins, I don't know if we're seeing a Dyson Mayo right now. I'm sure he would have spot duty throughout the season as injuries and things happen. But I tell you what, it's not a situation where, gosh, hey, we got a minor league guy here and we're just going to have to wear it because we're going to stink this year. The kid's been really good. He's a right-hand defenseman, does the right things at the right times. Yeah. Good job, guys. Let's go. Woo! How about those Yotes? Yotes win, Suns lose.
Suns lose, Yotes win.
And you know what? That's the wheel of fantasy right there.
Literally, that
Coyotes
is the wheel
win,
of fantasy.
Suns lose. Who'd have thought?
Oh my gosh.
That's the kind of fun we have here at PHNX.
Oh my
If you're not watching the other shows, I say it every damn time. If you're not watching the other shows, you should be. Because you think we have fun, go watch the Suns guys and the ASU guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anything about ASU at all, about anything. Basketball, nothing. But they have a lot of fun. It's just...
They do.
It's fun. So...
Yeah, we do.
Hold the Mayo.
Hold the Mayo.
So, he's a guy... He's fit in the National Hockey League. He's one of the he's third in rookie minutes played per game. He's third in block shots among rookies. He's third on this team for minutes played. Not only is he filling in, he's playing all the time. He's averaging over 20 minutes a game. Fantastic for a guy that you didn't even think was going to be in your lineup. He's smooth defensively. He works his ass off. He delivers pucks in the offensive zone. I've been a big fan of Mayo all season.
Yep. I want to read the super chat from Ruler14. Thank you, Ruler. $10
Thanks, Ruler.
Super chat. That's it. I've had enough. The idea that hockey can survive in the desert is a foolish idea. Bettman has been holding this project out long enough. Houston or Quebec are waiting. Relocate the Knights. I like the way you think,
See, that's
Ruler.
clever.
And how about
That's really clever.
all the LA Kings fans in Anaheim? Like, the Coyotes just get so much hate constantly when there's other fans of other teams in the arena or it's not a sellout. Like, look around the NHL. This happens everywhere, but it's the Coyotes. So
It's always the Coyotes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Look at Buffalo when Toronto's in town. It's basically a Toronto Maple Leafs home
Actually,
game.
Sean, while you're on mic, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
It's not. I already told you I was going to ask
No,
you this.
I know.
How, as a Buffalo Sabres fan, growing up as a Buffalo Sabres fan, how did it feel to see Jack Eichel in a Vegas Golden Knights jersey tonight?
Definitely a little weird. Doesn't make me happy, but more it makes me upset that the Sabres fumbled that bag so bad. But I don't know. It's fun to see him play. I'm glad I get to see him play a little bit more now that he's out here. But I mentioned it during the game. It's just fun to watch him skate. I can now say that my favorite player in the NHL outside of the Sabres is Jack Eichel.
Wow.
So outside of the Sabres and Yotes, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, don't leave, Sean.
Okay.
Don't leave, because while you're here, what's your DraftKings pick of the week, Sean?
All right. Like Petey mentioned, the PHNX Sun Devil show is a great time. We have a lot of fun. Tomorrow, the Sun Devils are playing in Utah, in Salt Lake City, against the Utah Utes. Last time I looked, they were 2.5-point underdogs at Utah, even though they beat Utah earlier in the season, and they are playing probably their best basketball of the season. So my pick of the week is the Arizona State Sun Devils men's basketball team money line. I think they're going to win outright in Utah because they're a better team, and they're getting ready to go to the Pac-12 tournament, which the Sun Devils crew will be at. And I think they're just going to keep playing their best hockey of the year.
All right.
Or best hockey of the year, best basketball of the year. Jesus, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
This is a hockey show,
I'm
dude.
in a hockey
Buddy.
mindset.
Sleep at night.
I know.
Sean's dash tune tonight, not
I know.
having the king graphic
wow.
ready.
Listen, it's
Wow.
It's been a long
I'm
day,
off my game.
to be
It has been
fair.
a long day.
These
Yes.
guys work really
Yeah.
hard around here. They
Yeah.
really do.
Sean
They're
and
spread-
them had a
they're
great
very thin.
interview with Rudy Carpenter today, so check that out
Yeah, check
if you
that out.
haven't on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcast, PHNX Sun Devils. If you want to tail that bet by Sean or any other bet, you can do that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers who sign up using the promo code PHNX can bet $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. Existing customers can bet on the NBA with same game parlays or any league. It doesn't have to just be the NBA. There's so much you can bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So check it out. Bet $1 on any NBA team. Get $150 in free bets if they win when you sign up this week using the promo code PHNX at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Tonight was Anton Stralman's 900th game.
It's a lot of games.
And he had an assist.
Got an assist.
So,
Big assist on the game-winning goal.
yeah, so you'll love to see that. And someone who, not their 900th game. Oh my God.
No, I'm taking some heat for the bougie. Caleb, I drink what's in the fridge.
No, you know what's bougie? Pellegrino, and that's what
Yeah,
freaking
Craig.
Craig.
This was in the
Craig
fridge.
will only drink that.
I'm about store brand. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, clearly
Usually
not.
he drinks his like Safeway signature
Yeah.
club soda.
Yep.
Let's acknowledge this comment that I'm just built different. You're laughing a little too hard there, Katie.
No, it just brought me back to the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, we need to film that race soon. Oh
Yeah,
my
so Ryan talked about that fourth line. I tell you what, O'Brien. And by the
Hopefully
way, I hope he's
O'Brien's
okay.
okay after
Like,
blocking
he
that
left
shot,
after
yeah.
blocking the shot, but that line around the net, at the net, hard at the net, that was great. And since we're speaking of that, can we talk about Nick Ritchie?
Yeah, I was gonna bring him up right now.
That's
What did you think
do.
about him? The only time I noticed him was when he got a penalty a minute 47 into the game.
Right,
That was his first impression.
On that shift where he has two big hits and all of a sudden he's in the
Yeah,
penalty box.
I noticed him a little bit more in the third period. He was kind of, in those chances in front of the net when the Coyotes were forming the net. But besides that, at the beginning and not in the end,
Well, he hasn't played in the NHL in 6 weeks.
to be fair.
He had to travel here. He had visa issues. He hasn't played in an NHL game in a while. He hadn't played in any game for a while because of the issues he had doing that. So that's part of it. Not used to the team, the line mates, all of those things. He tried to get physical to get involved in the game right away. Ends up in the penalty box. Do I think he was a big factor tonight? No. I mean, he played just over 10 minutes, maybe just about 11 minutes tonight. As this progresses to the end of the season, yeah, I think he's going to play a bigger role, partially because there's going to be holes all over the lineup, and he's just going to have to jump in and play where he's asked. So I won't read too much into what he brought to the table today. I expect him to be an everyday player and bring some physicality to the lineup.
Well, we can get some thoughts from Craig because it's Elevator Craig time.
Elevator Craig's here.
All right, Craig, what's up?
What's up, guys?
How two wins in 3 games?
Coyotes are 2 out of 3 and not in last.
I think they're determined to make this 3-team race for the between the Canadiens and the Coyotes. They're heating up too much, bringing Seattle back into the mix. But that was an entertaining game. This game had really good pace from pretty much start to finish. I liked a lot of things that I saw from the Coyotes tonight. Petey at the end, you saw all the guys diving in front, blocking shots. It felt almost, dare I say, like a playoff game tonight.
Wow. Moderately aggressive, but true. That's how badly they were playing for their goaltender, and that's really good to see. But you brought up a great point about the pace. I don't know if we've seen a Coyote game go this. It was like a tennis match, back and forth and back. Like they were trading chances. There were 3 or 4 instances tonight where it was like one of those 3-on-3 overtimes where it was chance.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, especially a fan in the building, how exciting is it to see that kind of speed? So you're right. It was the goaltender made the difference. I'm not saying Wedgie didn't, but this Coyotes team skated today. They looked fast. They looked offensive. They skated with this Vegas team.
One of the other things that Andre Tourigny said after the game is they had talked about being heavy with Vegas. Vegas is a heavy team anyway, but they had talked about trying to be heavy with this team. And I think you saw it in particular from their 4th line tonight. If you look at some of the stats there, and they backed that up. Christian Fischer, I think, had 6 hits. Liam O'Brien had 6 hits, left the game late. Antoine Roussel had 4 hits. They were really throwing themselves around, and I think that made a difference in this game. I know they weren't playing heavy minutes, but that's what you rely on your 4th line to do, and I thought they brought it tonight. As good a game, really, as I've seen from that line this season.
Yeah, we literally were just talking about the 4th line right before you got here. So
yeah, provided offense too, and it wasn't just the physicality. Yeah. They were around the net. They were getting shot attempts, chances attempts, and that's I think it's part of what they did differently. But a team as a whole, the speed of the pace of this game, and you talk about Barrett Hayton too. Another guy I thought again, his feet are moving, and is he the guy that's going to fill the hole for Travis Boyd if Travis Boyd gets picked up?
I hope they give him that opportunity, honestly. When you look at the way that Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz are working together right now, listen, Travis Boyd has been a great story this season, and he's certainly found a place in the NHL, but he's not a center that belongs between those 2 guys. It would be really great to see Barrett Hayton get that chance and see if he can break out a little bit offensively, because that's the one thing missing from his game, and obviously you expect it when he's the number 5 overall pick, but you'd like to see him get that opportunity.
Craig, I just want to ask you, because there were some questions earlier in the chat about if there's any updates on, Dyson Mayo got his contract extension today, which we just talked about a little bit ago, and people were asking what's the status on Vejmelka, what's the status on Krause. Do you have any updates on where things are with, either extending those guys or re-signing some upcoming UFAs or RFAs?
It's just talks at this point. We'll see where they progress. With Vejmelka in particular, I know they're preliminary, but again, when guys are RFAs, there's no rush to get it done. I think they really wanted to reward Dyson Mayo because he's been such a great story this season. We had him in the post game, and he said, "I was just hoping to get up there for my first NHL game." I'm sure he didn't expect to be eating the kind of minutes and playing the kind of role that he's playing. But Andre Tourigny talked about how quickly he won him over. He really convinced him in training camp, even though they sent him back. He told him, "You're going to be back here soon." And sure enough, they have injuries. They have situations like Connor Timmins going out, and Dyson Mayo's really taken the ball and run with it. He's a really nice story. One of the best stories of this season, in my opinion. You may have found a guy who can serve a significant role for this team going forward.
We talk about him getting signed in, and I hope they don't spread the Mayo too thin. But Wedgewood was unbelievable tonight again. And I don't know if you saw that stat, Craig. Since January 28th, he is tied for first in the National Hockey League with save percentage with Igor Shesterkin. Did you know that? That's a phenomenal stat. So having said that, and we talk about all these guys signing and their futures, is Scott Wedgewood a part of the future here, or is he just fighting for his next job?
I still think it's the latter. But you would like to see a guy like that get rewarded. Look, what's the goaltending situation look like for the Coyotes next year? I don't think Prosvetov is ready. Prosvetov needs to take a big step up because, truth be told, he's probably had a little bit of a disappointing season in the AHL. So you're going to need 2 goalies. Carter Hutton's not back. Why not give it to Scott Wedgewood if he continues this? He's probably earned himself a chance here. And this is a guy that's been battling just to be a backup in the NHL for so long. Really has been a number 3 guy a lot of his career, but I think he's earned a look here. His numbers overall, when you look at him, they're better than Karel Vejmelka's. He's probably earned a shot here.
Yeah, no, and I think we talk about what this team needs to do for the future and rebuilding. I don't know why you wouldn't sign him. Like, honestly, what is your plan there? You don't have to bring in the Brinks truck and back it up and pay him millions. But clearly, it's going to be a financial win. Loves it here, competes for you here. And honestly, next season is another one of those seasons you just got to get through. Wedgie and Veggie feed off each other. They both acquiesce the net to the other when it's their turn to play. I think it works. Plus, the veggie wedgie punch clearly for us work. Craig, I know it's really early in that, but I'm with you. Like, reward him. Like, he's playing this hard for you. Got you out of the losing streak. I don't know what else they would want to do here. The only thing different is if Prosvetov was ready to step into the NHL and be a guy and get his development going that way, but I don't think that's the case right now.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case. I mean, you saw when I did my prospect report and I talked to Charlie McTavish, he's just not there yet. They need to see more development from him. And I don't mind that. He's a goaltender, first of all, and they take a lot longer to develop. And again, the situation isn't a great one to step into next season. So you might as well ride these 2 guys for another season. I wanted to ask you guys, and I think you might have been talking about it just as I came on, what you thought of Nick Ritchie tonight.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only time you really noticed him was early when he got those hits and he ends up in the penalty box. Do I think he'll be a factor later on? Probably. There were so many things he had going away from the building today and away from hockey over the last 48, 72 hours. He got through today, and I think that was what he needed to do. He got through it. So the next game, we'll see how he looks on Sunday.
Yeah. I didn't think he hurt him in any way. I thought he played a heavy game as well. I think he played a very simple game, and that's probably the wisest thing to do, both because he hasn't played much. He's been in the minor leagues and he only played a couple games. And because he's joining a new team, new personnel, new system, it's probably best just to simplify the game and like you said, Petey, just get through it.
How about Petey adding YouTube comments while live on
work,
the show?
Work. That's what I do here. Just giving it to the people, Craig.
Speaking of that, are you excited for Tucson tomorrow, Craig?
Oh, are you kidding? Can we just leave right from here? Like, well, why bother? Like, let's just go.
Well, one of us isn't going to El Charro. That's my understanding.
Yeah, and it's not me and Craig.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Craig, what are you most excited for besides El Charro tomorrow in Tucson?
Oh, I thought you meant menu items. Sorry. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
donuts?
you've already ordered, I heard. That's rumors of waiting already. Fucking early. Sorry.
So, and by the way, are we going to just put this on the air right now? Saul's picking up the tab, right?
Yeah, let's just put that out there now.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm swinging through Mickey D's on the way down the drive by Pikachu Peak. Like,
Pikachu.
You are not eating at McDonald's. There's no way.
I probably won't eat at McDonald's.
You're gonna find like the fast food place that serves grilled salmon and asparagus. That's what you're gonna.
No, he'll just eat only donuts. You know what? Actually,
buddy, the donut line,
the taco stand.
No, at the TCC.
Yes, we have not talked about the tacos.
I'm in. I haven't done the tacos there. I've only done the donuts.
It's not El Charro, Craig, but we're
elite donuts, like elite donuts.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I think we've talked about the donuts
I'm
more
excited.
than the hockey.
Well, I want to see Matthias Michelli play. That's in there.
Yeah.
Donuts are a close second. Just saying.
Got a little note on Matthias Michelli in tomorrow's Neutral Zone. I got the chance to talk to Nick Ritchie and Andre earlier today, so there's going to be something on that in my notebook. Did something on Eichel, but Matthias Michelli has a chance to break some records.
Seriously?
Tucson,
Okay.
Well, we'll dial in the morning.
As well.
We'll be keeping tabs on that. All right, Craig. Well, we'll let you go so you can be well rested for that road trip. Any other final thoughts before we let you go?
Mini chimneys. Just think of mini
chimneys.
That's
All right. Bye, Craig.
We'll
see you tomorrow in Tucson.
Down the I-10.
See you guys.
Oh my gosh. Well, Craig just mentioned his neutral zone story tomorrow. So if you want to read that, you can do so at gophnx.com. Sign up to become a member. Get a shirt when you sign up for a year. Look at Petey and I both wearing.
Rocking the PHNX Coyotes
Yeah.
gear.
And Sean. I didn't want to call attention to the Sun Devils shirt, but it's okay. But anyway, if you sign up,
the Diefenbach's got my favorite PHNX shirt on.
Yeah, the one you wore the other night.
The other day. It's the same shirt. We share it.
It's like the sister of the traveling
budgets are tight here at PHNX, buddy. We just rotate the shirts.
Oh, Lord. Well, if you want to get a shirt, you can sign up to become a member, or you can just check out the PHNX merchandise locker. But members get weekly deals on merchandise, so check that out. You can also become part of the members only Discord, which is very active. We chat in there pretty much daily. So become a member, lots of perks, and also, follow PHNX Sports on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube tomorrow, because when we're in Tucson, we'll be putting out tons of content on our Instagram and on the main Twitter account as well. So follow along there with the adventures of us.
and be on accessing your Twitter or whatever the Insta thing is, because
whatever the Insta
well, no,
thing
because this is gonna be hard. We're doing a post-game show.
Yes, that's
for
true.
A game that people can't watch the game.
Yes.
So it's going to be hard to know when the hell we're going on.
Very true. So follow along. And also, if you hit the notification bell on YouTube, you'll get notified when we're going live. So I recommend doing that for all of our shows.
There you go. That's how it'll work.
It's
going to be a lot of fun. We've got some stuff even planned.
We do.
I know.
We do. And
No
if you're
fooling.
sitting here thinking, I don't know what to do tomorrow, take a road trip
There you
down.
go.
Take a road trip down the I-10. Come say hi to us. We'll be all over the place at the arena tomorrow. So come hang out with us in
See,
Tucson.
you told me. Sign the Hamburglar. Do you see that? It'd be Veggie, Wedgie, and the Hamburglar.
Wow, we can just have
it's not a bad little
all
trio.
the food groups. I guess I'm wedgie to me. I was thinking like a wedge salad. That's where my brain went.
Because Andrew Hammond's rocking it up in Montreal right now.
Yeah, which we need Montreal to win against Ottawa tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
We need a Montreal win.
See if they can win another one in a row here. They're on fuego.
I don't know, because the Coyotes passed them in the standings.
No, that was not the plan.
I know it wasn't, but it is fun to beat Vegas, so we'll take it. And just while we're looking around, Sun Devil hockey up 2-1 against Alaska. So keep tabs on that one. That was a 9 p.m. puck drop. Imagine if there was a 9 p.m. We're so blessed to not be on the East. Can you imagine if we covered an East Coast team and then they were on a Pacific?
Did you ever see when we did a meeting once, and this is a true story at PHNX where we do, everybody at offices does those Zoom meetings. That's a thing, right? We did a meeting once and the Diefenbach was in bed. He was laying down on a pillow with a computer in a meeting. If we did 9 o'clock starts here, I'd be doing the show from my bed.
What is wrong with that?
There's been some preliminary discussions about doing a PHNX Sun Devil show from the hotel beds in Vegas.
Wow. For the
Petey,
Pac-12?
we need to do our pajama shows.
I'm in for the pajama. I'm in. Count me in.
Okay,
I think
we'll plan that.
I got a lot of thoughts, but I'll let it go at that. I will let it go. 9 o'clock starts. Absolutely, without a doubt, it'd be starting at midnight on the show. I'd turn off Murder, She Wrote, because it's on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. It is. It starts at 9 o'clock, and they go all night, just in case you're wondering. I'd turn it off, and I'd go to the show. That's what I would do.
They're whispering behind there because they have 9 o'clock games, but it's okay. Yeah, whatever.
No, it's just like we talked about last show. It's like the third grade. It's like everybody's got to whisper. Everybody's in class.
No, hold on. You want us to talk in the middle of your show? We're not bragging about it. We could have said it out loud if we wanted to.
See? This is what we put up with here.
Petey, I feel like you're just kind of salty about the fact that the PHNX Sun Devils crew has so much fun.
I do.
You think we don't have fun here?
No, you have plenty of fun,
I'm
but
a little jelly over everybody. Under 25 gets to have fun and go out and stumble around Old Town. I miss that.
Petey, there is an open invite for you to come to Old Town.
Yeah.
Petey and Old Town, it needs to happen.
Yeah,
so
that's
bad.
a show. That's a show.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Any other notes from tonight?
No, I'm crickets.
Let's
get to Tucson.
Let's look at the upcoming schedule. We got Winnipeg.
Tucson.
So after Tucson tomorrow, we got Winnipeg 2:00 game. We love that.
Yeah, that's
on
fantastic.
Sunday. we had this debate.
Can they get 2 out of 3 here?
I don't know.
They 2 out of 3 this
Ottawa.
week. Can they get 2 out of 3 next
They
week?
play well against Winnipeg, Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Well, every time we're like Colorado,
I know,
no.
we say
and
that.
They
2
won
shootouts.
one, had a shootout. I mean, I don't know.
That Ottawa game. Those 2 matinees could be interesting.
Look at those matinees.
Let's see some Yotes wins.
They're
Although
catering to you.
that's go. They beat Winnipeg already this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So we'll see who also starts that game because who knows. Or did we miss anything else? Let's pull up the punch card. I'm just like, what else do we have? Man. Oh my gosh. That feels like progress.
Did you hear that last comment?
What?
No.
Did I hear it or did I
Did
see
you
it?
see it? I don't know.
Which one? The
you
first
see it?
8 producers were better.
Maybe it's personal. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But we're almost through that row on the punch card. And we got to get that Connect 4 thing. We got to actually work on that.
Yeah, we'll call some people.
Yeah, so we got to win those ones.
Yeah, okay.
That's it for me. Calling it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess.
A win in game 56 would give us a Connect 4.
It would?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's the Connect 4.
1, 2,
but
3,
who's
4.
game 56?
I don't know. 'Cause
That
that's
wasn't
the
on the
fourth one. It wasn't on
calendar.
the calendar.
That's the one game off of the calendar. So whoever's off after
so
Ottawa.
Next
Bring that on the
post-game
next show.
Yeah, we will
We'll know.
address that. All right. Well, I think that's it. Just pull up the Tucson graphic because I love it so much. We're going down to Tucson tomorrow. I know we've talked about it so much, but look at that. Petey centering this line with me and Craig.
It's a tough line.
Tomorrow, Saturday, February 26th in Tucson.
Yeah, Charles and Shane both just informed us that game 56 is a winnable game against Detroit.
The Connect 4 game is
They can
the
win
Detroit
that.
game.
They beat Detroit already this year.
In Detroit.
Detroit is better than they were, but not
Yes.
what they want to be.
It's a winnable game.
Which, by the way, here's a fun stat. So Dyson Mayo entering tonight is second among NHL rookies in time on ice and block shots, trailing only Detroit's Moritz Seider.
Mo Seider. There you go.
So there you go. So something to watch
Stat
in
of
that
the
game
day.
too, besides getting the Connect 4 win. So, all right. Well, we'll see everyone tomorrow in Tucson. I hope you're coming. Tweet at us if you are at PHNX_Coyotes. Follow us on Twitter. We're very close to PD doing a TikTok dance. Let's do a check-in right
real close on
now. Like 100 and
That was
I
me
can't do
holding my
math.
breath for that one.
All right. Well, that's going to happen soon. So follow at PHNX_Coyotes on Twitter and follow along with us tomorrow in Tucson. Like, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review. It's all super helpful. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming with us. Coyotes have won 14 games this season.
Wow. Yeah.
And
what do we have the over-under at 18 or 19? I think they're going to get there.
Did we, or was it 20? I don't
I had
remember.
18.
Okay, well, not looking
Whoops.
great, but it's possible. We'll see. Everyone, have a great weekend. See you all in Tucson. And see you all in Tucson, I guess. Yeah.